This is an example of the Swarf 5-axis toolpath. The Swarf 5-axis toolpath uses the side of the end mill to cut along the wall of a surface, such as the example that we've got laid out here. This is a fairly typical 5-axis configuration where we have sloped walls on all sides of this pocket. If we look at the toolpath that we have selected here, let's review some of the common features. If we go into the geometry box, this is going to bring up the Swarf 5-axis parameters dialog box. You notice that our output format is set to 5-axis, and for defining the walls, we've chosen the surfaces option. If I click on that button, you can see that the entire wall of this part is selected in yellow, it's highlighted, meaning those are the surfaces that we'd like to cut. Once I say done, it's going to ask me to select the first surface that I'd like to cut. And I click on the surface and I get a little dynamic arrow, and it says select the first lower rail, or the bottom of the wall. So I'll bring the dynamic arrow down and press the bottom, and now it's going to ask me for a direction, and I want to make sure that my end mill is cutting on the left side of that direction. So I'll press the flip, and that's going to flip a little arrow over and show me my new chain direction, and I'll say OK. The tool axis control right now is set to the walls, and we have the fanning off. We're not doing fanning on this operation. And the tip control is set to the surfaces. And if I click on that surfaces button, it's showing me that my lower surface, my surface on the bottom here, is set to control the tip of the tool. So I can now say done and say OK. And we'll come up here and look at the parameters here. And in this example, we're not using lead in, lead out. We have one pass along this wall, but we're not leaving any stock, and one pass along the floor. And if I say OK and regenerate path, Mastercam is going to show me the tool path. Let me turn the display on. And now you can see the display of the tool path. If we go into backplot, we can step through, or we can watch it walk this tool around and do a swarf cut along the walls of our part. In the next example, we're going to cover how to add lead in and lead out moves to the beginning and exit of this toolpath.